If I could just have a breakout room.
We
briefly,
haven't spoke yet.
I did bring the file in already, but I just have.
Okay, so he needs a breakout room, Lisa, right? Mr.
I got it.
Westmoreland?
I got it.
She's got it.
All right, let's go. Rusnick. Roger Rusnick, 25D-233-188. How you doing there, Mr. Rusnick?
Good, Your Honor. How about yourself?
They're going to dismiss the misdemeanor. Your name again?
Roger Rusnick, Your Honor.
So they're going to dismiss the misdemeanor. You have another over there.
Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. Running a little late, so I got to play around a little bit with some, but I'm sure y'all be patient with me. We got Judge McNally today. We got another Judge McNally, and then we got some Judge Simpson. So yeah, as long as I can keep my finger off the mute button, we should be fine. Let's check out Judge McNally.
People against Mark Andrew Nutt, 16W713-068. Good morning, Mr. Westmoreland.
Good morning, Judge Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Nutt.
Mr. Nutt, your name?
I hit the button. Mark Andrew Nutt.
All right. Does he stand mute, wait for my rating?
That's correct, Judge.
I don't know. What's he in custody on? So I'm entering a not guilty plea. What's he in custody on?
Yes, Judge, he does have one pending matter out of the Third Circuit Court. I believe it's fleeing and eluding and receiving, concealing stolen property.
Do I dare ask where he's been the last 9 years?
He wasn't actually really sure that he had this case, but a year ago he mentioned to me that he did find out about it and he did send a plea by mail, but never heard anything about it again.
Let me see. Yeah, we didn't receive a plea by mail from you, Mr. Nutt. This case is assigned to me. I respond to those, and there's nothing in this file, but that's neither here nor there. 4,010% will be his bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. At least he's in custody on something else. You've got, if he can't post his bond, to set it for tomorrow at 10:15. If he can, April 16th. I could do the 16th. How long's he in custody on that, Mr. Westmoreland? Do you know?
I believe it's still pending. At this time, though, he did also mention to me that he is looking to be tethered to a treatment facility.
Yeah. Let's just do the 16th, Lisa. Is that okay?
Yep, the 16th is your day.
And that'll be at 10 o'clock in the morning, 4,010%. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. You're not to enter or go near 22600 Allen Road in the city of Woodhaven or any other Myers store. Do you understand that?
Yeah. I had never been arrested in Woodhaven, sir.
Hang on a second. No contact with employees of the Woodhaven store, of the Woodhaven Meyer. No contact with prosecution witnesses. You cannot leave the state without consent or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. You're gonna have to post $400. We'll get a court-appointed lawyer for you for that case, and I'll have him or her ready for you next week on the 16th at 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you post, you have to come here. If you post on that case and the other case, or the other case concluded and you post on this, whatever. The point is that then you can, you have to be here next Wednesday rather. Good luck. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm trying to go, they're trying to put me on the tether to a treatment center.
I don't want to talk about that. There's been no conviction right now. You can talk to your lawyer about that next week, okay?
I don't know what that means for this, but I can't go to the treatment center then?
I'm putting a bond. We're not done with the case. Talk to your lawyer about that. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday. Correct. Good luck. Thank you.
Case period, considering I've
Thank you,
never
Judge.
been arrested in Woodhaven.
Don't
They
talk
didn't
about
arrest.
it.
Yeah. Good luck.
Never been arrested in Woodhaven,
All
never had
right, all
problems in
right.
Woodhaven.
Listen,
Period.
listen. Go ahead and mute him. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only got about 20, you got about a half-inch, 3-inch report, CCH. So if I were you, I wouldn't be talking to a judge like that.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day, Your Honor.
You too, Mr. Westmoreland.
Thank you.
Yeah, the world owes some people a living, Deputy. Have a good day.
I think we have one more, Judge.
Actually, two more for the jail. I got Scotty Justice and a James Upleger.
Justice, we're just gonna adjourn that out 60 days.
Okay.
We set a new review hearing date in May, or when we set that, Lisa?
June 10th. I'll
June
send over
10th.
new paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Uplegger is Judge Hessen.
So you need Scotty Justice now?
No, we're all set with Scotty Justice.
And it's Upleger's the one you got to do.
Uplegger is Judge Hessen.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a
good
blessed day.
Bye.
Thank you, Deputy. You too. Material additions, corrections, or deletions. And Mr. Mohammed, I believe you walked in later. Your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mohammed on behalf of the people.
All right.
No, Your Honor, we have reviewed the pre-sentence report. There are no additions, deletions, or corrections.
Anything you, in your name again, sir?
Randy Shoemaker.
Anything you would like to say on his behalf?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Shoemaker is a very nice young man, hardworking, supporting 3 kids. On the tragic day that this happened, he was driving his employer's vehicle. It was not even his vehicle.
His whose vehicle?
His employer's vehicle.
Okay.
And there was a mechanical issue with it, that it could pull to the left. And he did, unfortunately, what so many of us do during the course of driving around and everything. A lot of times when you realize we're doing it, he went to adjust the radio. And when he did that, it took his mind off holding that wheel steady, and the car pulled to the left. And the tragic accident is he hit the smaller vehicle. The driver in that car, unfortunately, was not wearing a seatbelt, and he lost his life. And as the film shows, he's a very good, nice young man. These were 2 good people under tragic, horrible circumstances. My client has borne the guilt of this every day from then till now. He thinks about it every day. He has nothing but empathy for the family, nothing but sorrow for what's happened. Unfortunately, none of us have any way of turning back time and changing those unfortunate circumstances so that everybody could come out of this with a happy ending. There is no happy ending. The consequence of this for himself, besides the fact that he deals with this emotion and guilt all the time, is that he drives for a living. He will not have a license for a year. That is going to impact his ability to maintain his home, take care of his children, and everything else. And we're not asking for the court to extend the sympathy to him, just reinforcing the tragedy of this for everybody involved. And our heart certainly goes out to his family. That film strip was very touching. And I'm sure it was a hard thing for him to sit there, because so often these things happen. And unfortunately, the driver that's of the vehicle, who's the driving driver, doesn't know anything about the person who lost their life, and doesn't realize the additional tragedy of who and what that person was. My client now has that to bear, along with what the guilt he already felt about the thing, and the sorrow he already felt about the thing. It's just that it was literally an accident. In terms of moving violation, it He wasn't drinking. There's no alcohol involved. There was no drugs involved. There was no speeding. There was just a momentary lapse. He was not even given a ticket for any kind of a moving violation because it was a tragic accident.
Wait, I missed that last sentence.
I said, there was nothing, he wasn't even given a moving violation for the case. He was not given it, never got received a ticket. He had shown up for all his court dates and everything is expressed nothing but distress and concern for everything that's happened here. I asked the court to consider those things and to be as lenient with him as possible, because as they say, but for the grace of God, there go I. This could happen. I mean, I know myself that, when I drive around, I try to be very attentive and everything else, but times with work and so on, my mind wanders, and that's all it takes for something like this to happen. But it is important to remember that this is a situation that was just marginally in his control. Obviously, he would never, ever have reached toward that radio if he had thought there was going to be any kind of consequence. But we don't think under those circumstances. It's just normal behavior with a tragic result.
And I just want to make sure, Lisa, there's not anybody for the family of Mr. Brewer out there, correct?
Mr. Matz did appear. I brought him in during the video.
Mr. Matz, I'm just going to offer you an opportunity. You can just tell me your name, and I'm just going to offer you an opportunity. I know they said that you were their representative, their lawyer, and you would be on Zoom. I just wanted to tell you, we did play the video. If you didn't know that, I read their letters. And if you wanted to say anything very, very briefly, I'm going to let you. Otherwise, I'll move on to the sentence.
May it please the court, Stephen Matz on behalf of Robert Carla Brewer, P28082. The Brewers simply asked me to observe. I've been watching the hearing since 9:20 this morning, and I believe the Brewers have adequately conveyed their concerns to the court. I know the court will take those into consideration. I have nothing further to add.
Thank you. Sir, anything you would like to say?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm so sorry to the Brewer family for the tragic accident that happened. I did not plan on I didn't wake up that morning and plan on an accident happening and somebody losing their life. I couldn't imagine what the Brewer family is going through with having to deal with this situation. I as well have to deal with this every day for the rest of my life and have the weight on my shoulders of knowing that a life was taken in an accident that I was involved in. And again, I'm deeply sorry that this accident happened and a life was taken.
Thank you, Judge. And I just wanted to shed some more light on the facts of the case since defense counsel brought it up. My understanding is that the defendant in this case was aware that the vehicle had some mechanical issue and that it steered to the left a little bit. That was prior to him getting in that vehicle and driving on that night. And the victim in this case is Robert Brewer. It's not the defendant. And Mr. Brewer was an amazing person, not just to his family, as a son, as a friend, but to the community. He was a part of his church. He was an artist. He was many things. And unfortunately, his life was taken, and that was due to the actions by the defendant. And also, Judge, I believe there was a drug report in this case that the MST blood results showed that the defendant had drugs in his system.
He had consumed marijuana earlier in the day.
Correct. So I just wanted to paint the whole picture.
I stand corrected on that, Your Honor.
I understand. I read the reports. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Did I let everybody finish?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Barker?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, there was no indication that there was enough of a level there to have affected anything. Again, it's just such a sad situation, and his remorse. I mean, I don't know, there was a time in the old days when people would wear sackcloth and put ashes on their head and so on to show their sorrow and their, we don't do that sort of thing anymore. But in his heart, he's wearing sackcloth and ashes, and could do anything he could to change the effect of that situation that day. We can't.
Anything else, sir?
Just, I'm deeply sorry that a life was taken in this situation. It was an accident, Your Honor. I didn't wake up and want to get into that.
Nobody thinks you did.
No.
Nobody thinks
just
you
saying.
did.
I'm
you had
deeply
some-
sorry to the Brewer family that their son was lost and a brother was lost. I'm not saying he wasn't, we're all human, we're all meant to be here. I mean, I know he was talented, I could see that from the video I saw, and I have to live with the fact that a life was lost in this situation. If the roles could have been reversed, I would have. I wish it was my life that was taken instead of his.
These are difficult for any judge. I certainly find them difficult. We don't have any intent here. We have no intent here. No intent to kill. You'd have had other blemishes in your life. I mean, you had an MDOP out of this court 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, disturbed the peace in 18, impaired 12, A and B 11. But I want to tell you something, what troubles me the most here. I personally think they should have charged you with reckless driving causing death. And I'm going to tell you why. You knew. First of all, I'm not sure I'm buying the mechanical defect that's causing the vehicle to turn to the left. I mean, the accident reconstruction, they were not able to discern whether or not that was accurate. But even if it was accurate, you should have parked the car if it was going to cause the car to jerk across 3 lanes of travel and not driven it again until it was fixed. But I don't have any evidence that that was going on. You're playing with a radio. You're playing with a radio, and you drive clear across 3 lanes of travel. That's pretty hard to do. That's really hard to do. I have a feeling, but I can't prove this, and I'm not going to assume this. I have a feeling you were doing something else. I have no idea what. But if this traveling across 3 lanes of travel isn't willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property, I don't know what is. You don't have to be drunk. I'm going to assume that you had absolutely no effects from that marijuana. But you drove across 3 lanes. How could you not feel that unless you weren't paying attention to anything? And if you weren't, you should never get behind the wheel of a motor vehicle again. This isn't like somebody had a seizure and drove across a lane of travel, which this is pretty outrageous. And the prosecutor's office, at least in this judge's view, should have charged reckless driving causing death, which is a 15-year felony, instead of a 1-year misdemeanor on moving violation causing death. I can't condone this conduct. I mean, I want to look at it, look, if I knew you were taking aim at the guy and driving a car at him, that would be, frankly, murder 2, and you'd be going to jail for years and years and years. I'm not saying that happened, but you're driving on dicks. I mean, that's a speed limit of, you weren't driving in a subdivision dirt road going 15 miles an hour, changing the radio. You were paying no attention. These cars, these vehicles, they're not a toy. We want to have fun, go over to Sportway and get on one of the go-karts. I don't know what to tell you. But I had an earlier one of these today, and this one's worse in my view. Worse. So that's bad news. Can't do this. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you're showing remorse. But it's a little too late. These are not easy cases, but I'm very comfortable with what I'm going to do here. No, you were here every time. No, you didn't abscond. But this is not right. 24 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address or place of employment or home telephone number, you must notify the probation department. You're to report as directed. You're to attend the decision-based driving level 2 course at Class A Training Center. You're not to have any contact at all with the victim's family members. 100 fines, 100 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment. That's 3 1/4. Probation fees are $480 for 805. Screening fees $60 for 865. You're going to serve 90 days jail, 75 days now, 15 days of community service in lieu of jail. I'll give you 15 days, that's 120 hours. You're to serve that by, I'm going to give you all the way to August the 1st. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for an additional 275 days. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. Counsel, this is not your fault. You did nothing wrong here. Sometimes we can't save clients. This is one of those cases. I don't care what anybody thinks. This, when I read these reports, I thought it was more outrageous than I thought before. You cannot do this.
Your Honor, if I could ask the court, he could have some time.
I'm sorry. I've had too many guys not show up when I do. Listen,
I'll be here.
listen, I'm not going to let you do it. No,
I'm gonna
No.
lose everything.
no,
I have
listen.
a house that's
Stop.
stuff I'm gonna
Do
lose.
not argue with me. Do not argue with me. Okay? Have a seat. Sorry, counsel. I'm not doing anything. I'm sorry. Paige Rose Archibald, 24M709-523.
Sure. Like the approach one moment, Your Honor?
I'm not gonna do
Not
it.
on the case.
Sure. Go off the record.
All right, so that one went well. Let's jump to Judge Simpson today with a little bit of landlord tenant. All right. Maybe I'm wrong on it. It seems to me like 18 meters was tall enough. I don't know. I don't know how that works, Linus. Seems like 18 meters would be tall enough. All right, here we go with Judge Simpson.
Okay, what are, Ms. Bauer, are you on this?
No, Your Honor.
Well, okay, I just need you to know that the answer to the complaint has you listed as the defendant's
I
attorney.
was just providing technical assistance to minutes. Ms. Berger, I just said in the email that I was assisting her in getting it filed, but I didn't appear on the case.
Okay, all right. What are we doing? Your name? Your name? All right. Where are we on this?
Your Honor, Ms. Stoneberger did not pay her escrow. She was ordered to answer, I think she got her answer in nominally on time, but she did not pay her escrow.
Yes, I did. I can't deny the other 550 was when they give it to me, but it was not. And so I do agree with that.
550 was paid on April 3rd, according to our records.
Order was for 1,100.
Yes. Where's the balance of that, ma'am?
Balance. of 550. I was, to be honest, the other occupant and stuff was supposed to give it, he did not, and I cannot come up with the money my own self. So I paid. I could deny it.
Yeah, they're in advice the room, Your Honor. The other occupants unauthorized. So that's part of the reason for the blatant determination is that she's got unauthorized occupants in the unit without permission of the landlord. And it's a violation of release.
The answer is late also, but this is a termination of tenancy case. Is that correct? Well, you haven't complied with the escrow order and the answer was late. I'm looking at it, deciding whether or not I should strike the answer. But in any event, plaintiff is entitled to an immediate trial on the issue of possession. So are you prepared and ready to go to trial, ma'am? Pardon? You are? Okay. You have your client here or? Okay. The basis for the termination?
Basic determination was damage caused by the unauthorized occupant, flooded the house, causing several $100 of damages. Would have been more if he had done a lot of the work himself. But it caused a flood above him, which caused the ceiling to collapse. It denied responsibility for it. Well, actually, what she said is talk to the other guy, the unauthorized occupant, he's responsible for it. So there's damage to the premises. Two unauthorized occupants living with her. Violation of release. Frankly, I don't think she's already admitted that the other occupant didn't pay his supposed debt escrow. So her own admissions are that she's got somebody else there. It's a violation of release. I don't frankly think there's a threat of issue.
And what's your position, Stoneman?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. We signed a lease back in October with Mr. Palmer, with Chad from CMH that paid the amount and a security deposit, which Mr. Kevin Salisbury is on that. But me and Kevin Salisbury had an argument, Your Honor. I went to my landlord. He ripped it up in front of me, the original one. And
The original one.
the original lease. And then we made up a new lease, which also he did not give permission to Mr. Kevin Salisbury that he was terminated. He never evicted Mr. Salisbury from the tenancy. He just ripped up the lease and had me do a new lease without consulting Mr. Kevin Salisbury about it. So that original lease should still take place, and I am also guilty with Mr.
Well,
Palmer.
do I have a copy of that alleged?
The first lease?
Yeah.
Yes, I sat there and gave it back to Mr. Palmer, which he knew this. And,
Well, but do I have a copy of it?
No, I don't think so. Everyone. Because Mr. Shad said he didn't have enough accredited time from CMH that he does have a copy of the original lease with Kevin Salisbury on it, I'm on it. And there was a verbal agreement with Mr. Palmer, knowing that my 15-year-old daughter worked very hard for 3 years to get sole custody of her, and he knew this. And he said we didn't have to add her because she was a 15-year-old. And
What happened with the damage to the premise?
that, sir, he called me on my phone and I was at work.
He who?
Mr. Palmer called me. And he said there's water going upstairs. I said, well, I'm at work. Knowing that he's a landlord with a key, if he knew there was probable damage, sir, that the expected water was running, he has permission to go into my apartment with his key to go and check on that damage. I have never heard of this after that. Nothing. I've never seen a bill, never seen anything. I paid my security deposit, so if he had out of pocket expenses, sir, he should have used my security deposit.
She can't do that. So why'd you sign this other lease?
Out of anger. And I went back to Mr. Palmer and I told him there, and he had no problem. Maybe I should have talked to him in different circumstances, Your Honor. Because Mr. Palmer sometimes is not. I will not say this, I will not retire car, but Your Honor, my thing is if he had damages, I wish he would have shown me proof. But he did have access to my apartment. No, he had a key to it.
I mean, you're not claiming that there aren't damages.
I don't know if there is, or he never gave me no proof.
Who is it you say has this other lease?
I mean, Mr. Palmer. That's who I handed it to.
But you said somebody else has another copy?
Shad for CMH, yes, sir. And he didn't have an adequate enough time, and I've also.
What do you mean he didn't have adequate enough time?
When I went and talked to him about it, he said it's gonna take time to about everything, and he knew that I had court today. I put that in my written statement. I also stated that, I asked for, for him to give me proof. If he can give me proof that there was damages and that he could work on the floor, that it was flooded, he should have some kind of record of the cost of that. So if he did have that cost, he'd be able to take it out.
So is this other individual residing in the premises?
Yes, he is. And he is willing, I think he's gonna make his own motion with Mr. Palmer.
His own what?
He's gonna be taking Mr. Palmer himself to court. Possibly trying to whatever, because he still legally should be able to be there with the lease that his grandmother has, or whatever he's trying to find. And my daughter, she's 15 years old, Mr. Palmer. And I'm not saying this, but normally, I mean, my daddy always said handshake is better than. And I did trust Mr. Palmer's word, and he trusted mine, and I'm guilty of, some things myself. I'm not saying that.
Was there another lease? Mr. Friedman?
Not aware of that, Your Honor. This, the lease that's in place is the lease with her alone, one occupant, her. They had no other occupants are authorized.
So I guess my question is a little bit more specific than that. What I hear the defendant indicating is that there was a lease that included two people. That somehow what she's basically claiming is that impermissibly that lease was terminated and this lease signed. Is that correct? Do you know?
Yes, it was.
Do I have a copy of that other lease?
It was destroyed. It was destroyed.
Yeah. Under what basis then was that lease terminated and this new one put in place?
When the man in question took her car and totaled it, I didn't see him. She said, I don't want him here. He's here, he's trespassing. Is there any way we could rewrite something so he cannot be here? So I said, are you sure? I said, give me the only sole copy of that lease. And I destroyed it. I shredded it, put a new lease for her, so she wouldn't have to worry about this person bothering her. And then he shows up right before the holiday and said, oh, he's my guest for the holidays, starting before Christmas and continuing until today. I mean, still there. And then 3 weeks ago.
All right, well, how long, that would not be a proper way, just on the face of it, to terminate the lease, the previous lease, and then enter into this next agreement and then seek to evict her for what may have been that prior agreement. I mean, there.
Well,
go ahead, Mr. Friedman.
He left, and he had.
I don't.
And so And basically, I mean, and she's saying, I don't want him around. He's destroying my car. He's left. I don't want him around. I want a new lease. So he does, you know.
But the question is how was his interest in the property as a tenant terminated? I mean, we get into a very strange world if leases can be terminated by somebody tearing up the lease.
So he did abandon the premises.
Do you agree with that, ma'am, that he abandoned?
He did leave because he was in the hospital, Your Honor. He did total my vehicle. He was in the hospital for a week. He definitely came back, and that's when Mr. Palmer called me about the water, Your Honor. During that time, he already knew Mr. Salisbury was staying there. He knew this. How come he knew about that?
Okay, so how long did this gentleman leave for?
About 5 days in the hospital, and I do have proof.
Well, okay, so hold on. You and this other gentleman are in some type of relationship, with that is the case. And so as I hear it, Mr. Palmer, something happens as a part of their relationship. She tells you, and then you tear up the other agreement and enter into this new agreement. Is that?
Yes, she said he was gone. She didn't want anything to do with him, doesn't want him there because he's trespassing. So to save her from, I don't know what kind of trouble, she said he's not coming back. She said, no, I don't want anything to do with him. I'm done. It's done. So I said, well.
Okay, so how many times have you heard that in a relationship? I mean,
I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't deal with it. I'm just wondering.
No, I'm just saying.
I
mean, on behalf, all parties, at some point, will tell anybody else, I don't want somebody there. I mean.
He was physically gone. He'd taken her car. He totaled her car. He was in the hospital for 5 days. The day he came back was the day she left, I guess. And when he turned the shower on, I don't know, it was running for an hour at least. I'm banging on the door, banging on the ceiling. I knew somebody was in there, so I didn't want to go just walking in there. As she said that I had keys to enter the property.
Which you do.
Yes, but I didn't want to just go walking in there. I'm banging on the door. Somebody was physically in there. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't turn the water off on my half, so.
So then. I'm not even clear what to do with this because I've got this other lease that sounds to me like it's not properly terminated.
Doesn't exist.
Well, Your Honor, it seems to me though that the only person that would have any standing to raise that issue would be the dude, whatever. And he's not here.
Well, no, the defendant has standing to raise the issue because if part of the reason you're terminating her or the basis for the termination is that she has this unauthorized occupant. And then two unauthorized occupants, who's the other one?
Her daughter.
Oh, for.
We did do a verbal agreement, Mr. Palmer, when I did it.
How old's your daughter?
She's 15.
So you're claiming that's an unauthorized occupant?
She didn't have the daughter when she signed the lease. She was in custody.
And now you have custody.
Yes, sir. After 3 years, I had custody. Mr. Palmer knew it.
So what am I to do with this daughter? I mean, am I supposed to tell her her mother, oh yeah, you fought for custody of your daughter, but she can't stay there with you and your lease is being terminated. So I'm now, because you fought for custody of your daughter, you're now going to be homeless. Is that what is that the position that plaintiff is taking?
That's not the position the plaintiff's taking. We're saying is that when you add it all up, there was supposed to be one occupant, and now there's three.
Well, no, because Miss Salisbury, the other lease, there were two occupants. And so so maybe there's three now. And then I'd have to figure out what to do with, I guess, this newfound daughter. And then
Then there's another 800-pound girl in the room, which is there hasn't been any rent paid since January.
They charged the rent in January 811.50, and there hasn't been any payment for February to March, which is the tune of $4,400.
go ahead.
With the damages and stuff, also that he's trying to terminate my original termination. Is, he never forthcome, when he called me, I was at work, he talked to me about the water. I said, Mr. Palmer, I'm sorry, I am at work. And he says, okay, I called back again within a couple of hours, and it was off taxi, and that is the last time I heard from Mr. Palmer on the issue of any damages. Never seen a piece of paper, never seen any damages.
Do I have anything about the damages, since everybody wants to go there? I mean, I'm still stuck on this lease thing. But does she have a copy? Go ahead, take a look at it, ma'am.
I did not see this the first time I've ever seen.
No, I know, but take a look at it. Do you have any objection to the court seeing that?
No, let me see.
Well, hold on. Do you have any objection to me looking at it? Because I don't know what you start talking and I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so. What's this from?
A contractor?
Okay, does the contractor,
That?
does the contractor have a name?
Yes, Jeremy.
We have the photos of the damage. Let's see.
No, I understand that, but
Rather ask people more time.
no, not right now. Sometimes it's better not when you're ahead. So it's $625.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but have you paid this?
Yes, I have.
Is there a receipt for the payment?
I didn't get one from him, but I just paid him cash, gave me that as a receipt. As it says there, paid the final amount.
By somebody who it doesn't. Okay.
Right, if you see the pictures, you'll see the 625 as a bargain.
Okay, I don't. Here's the problem that I see. First thing is this other lease. Because I don't know if this other lease is the same as this lease, but just the names change, or if there's something different in it. I don't know that. That's the first thing. Second thing is I am still unclear as to how he, in essence, terminated a tenancy by tearing a document. Because the reality of what he did would not only be to terminate the tenancy of the other individual, it actually terminated her tenancy, and then she enters into a new tenancy, supposedly. But I don't know that that first tenancy was properly terminated. If it's not properly terminated, there's at least an argument that this lease that you're seeking to terminate her is void or voidable, and that that other lease is the one that applies. All right, that's my just initial thought on this.
Sir, man,
Go for it.
I thought.
I don't know why you were involved in their relationship. So go ahead and you tell me what you want to tell me.
I was not at all. I thought, by the way things have went for her, and she was coming to me and saying, hey, I don't want him here. Basically scared of them. I don't know what the situation was. If he's here, he's trespassing. Can we do this? Her and I stood there, and that's what we agreed to do the new lease.
I wonder if I could have done that with my mortgage company in Maxwell. Could I? I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, if stuff works that way. Alan? Okay, all right, I'm just checking.
I think this is the thing where he thought he was doing her a favor and.
I know, but I get that. Good Samaritan and all that wonderful stuff. But then I'm now here, and because this guy came back that she may have been mad at him for a while. They patch their differences. I don't know, her car gets repaired, whatever. And then because she does that, and because there's this damage, I get the damage part, but because she does that, the one basis upon which now she's being terminated, it seems, is because she repaired her relationship, and also is being terminated, I guess, because she was successful in fighting for custody of her daughter. This is a beautiful scenario.
Well, we didn't raise the daughter issue, but it's.
Well, no, he did. I mean, so let me ask this, Mr. Friedman. Is part of the basis for this other person her daughter? Part of the basis is that she has unauthorized occupants. Is your client claiming that the daughter, the minor child?
We didn't mention the daughter.
Okay, so is that an issue?
We're not raising it. It's a fact.
Well, he did. Okay, but when I said there's an unauthorized occupant, somebody said two. And so one of those would be her daughter. So what I'm asking is part of the claim in this case the daughter in the premises?
No. It's a fact, but it's not, we wouldn't have terminated the tenancy because of that, no. We terminated.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about the daughter.
No.
Okay. I just have to worry about this guy that she got mad at, that all of a sudden the lease gets torn up, that then they repair their relationship, and now he's an unauthorized occupant. That's the only one I have to worry about.
And the fact that he caused the damage, yes.
Okay, I mean, we can get to the damage part, but. And what?
They haven't paid rent since January.
Okay, but I've got a termination case
I
in front of me.
understand, but you're gonna have, it's a 7-day case in 8 days.
Okay, so, ma'am, the individual that has a copy of this initial lease, how long did they say that would take them to get?
I did propose to Mr. Palmer through Ms. Jill that I would like to be out by May 31st. I'm willing to give the security deposit by 50, and I'm also willing to pay the first month's rent in May by the first of $1,100. I would like to be out by May 30th.
So you want to pay $1,100. He keeps the security deposit. You don't have any claim over it. And you just want to be there till May 31st. Well, hold on. Yeah, there could be an immediate trial. However, I've started a trial, I guess, but I've got an issue because of this other lease. So, and it's not here because your client says it's destroyed. She says there's a copy that exists, but she can't access it at this point. She's going to try to access it today. So it would seem to me that I would adjourn this in any event.
I understand. This is my first trial. My first time in front of you.
I know. Yeah, I know. You can see where it's going.
But I would say this, if I was inclined to make that suggestion, I would want a COD because that would
and I think that could be in a COD. She seems very definite that she's going to do these things and then leave. I don't think your client likes the idea. So why don't I just adjourn the trial? And my next date isn't until like late April anyway. Huh?
April 22nd.
So it would be April 22nd. We'd have a trial. I don't know how long it would last. We might get to the end of May in any event. But I mean, if that's her proposal, it seems like a reasonable one. She doesn't want to stay. And by the way, the other thing that's faced is that if I find that the lease here is void and or voidable, you're going to lose anyway. Once I see that second lease, or at least there's the potential. So here's what I'll do. You're going to get a copy of that other lease. I'll adjourn the non-jury trial to April 22nd, 2025 at 9 a.m.
All right, that's it on there. We got one more Judge McNally. See what we got there. We got one more Judge McNally. It's about 15 minutes, and then we'll call it quits for the night. Let's go to Judge McNally, and we can talk about food there too.
James Shirley for plaintiff.
Mr. Fry, your name?
David Fry.
All right, so Mr. Fry is here. This is a motion for possession pending final judgment, right?
Correct.
What would you like to tell me? Did I signed the order initially, the restraining order, and then I see we had it up for February the 24th. Can you enlighten me?
It was adjourned to 2 weeks ago, Your Honor, at which point the court adjourned it one more time.
Okay, so we're just here to decide the motion for possession?
Yes.
All right, what?
I was ordered to make the payment within the last 2 weeks, and I tried to get a hold of them on Friday and make the payment over this weekend or on Friday, and their office was closed, and I tried to see if there's any way I have all the money in an account ready to make. All they gotta do is click the button.
Oh. Well,
that's it. I'm trying. I tried.
Hang on, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. Do you know, was your office closed Friday?
Plaintiff's office closes at 4:30 Central Time on Fridays.
I see. So why don't I put you two in a breakout room? Okay, Mr. Sherrill, and you talk to him and you guys can coordinate this. Either way, I want you to come back in front of me. We're going to put you in a room to speak to him online. All right?
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Your name again, sir?
David Fry.
Go ahead, Mr. Fry, your name?
David Fry.
Nice and loud, Mr. Sherrill.
Good afternoon or morning, James Shirley for plaintiff.
All right. Did you guys talk? Have you resolved this?
Very briefly, and it was not resolved.
Your Honor.
What happened?
They don't want to accept my payment again.
Wait a second. Slow down. What? Okay. Yes, Linda.
Someone has checked in for the defendant.
On
Her
this
name's
case?
Angela, yes.
No, no, she's with me.
You're a lawyer, right?
With Performance Equity, the finance company.
She's my client, Your Honor.
I see. All right. You don't have a lawyer?
No, sir.
Why won't you accept the payment? Tell me
That's
what's
because-
going on.
Because I called him on Friday to talk to him and he still didn't
I
have
did
it.
talk to him on Friday.
Slow down. Wait, we cannot have two people talking, okay?
Sorry.
You called him on Friday.
To see if he had the payment and he said that he's got to switch money around. He doesn't have it. The
No.
same thing he said in court
No,
the last time and he still didn't have it on Friday. So
that's not what I told her.
go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Here's the thing, Your Honor. Mr. Fry is now 174 days delinquent. And the amount owed on the delinquency is $3,289.02. Plaintiff's usually pretty flexible in cases like this, but I ran Mr. Fry's name through the docket over the weekend. And in the past 2 years, he's been sued for non-payment of rent by his landlord 13 times. So I think it's very likely that if this case ends in anything short of a judgment of possession, we'll be back here in a couple of months.
Listen. It's very simple. You either have the money or you don't.
I do. I absolutely do. And can I speak for just a second, please?
I don't want to hear talk. I want you to tell me.
Because it's not my fault. I was less than that was like not even 60 days late in January when they decided to not accept my money.
Yeah,
and then they adjourned it. I have it.
Slow down.
I have the money.
Don't talk to me. You don't interrupt me.
I apologize.
I don't want to be interrupted. I asked you to stop 2 or 3 times. Knock it off. This is not a bar.
Oh, I understand, sir. I'm just trying not to lose my home.
Well, it's very simple. You owe $3,289.02. Now you don't interrupt me. Either pay him the money or you're going to lose your home. I don't want to get into all this, what happened 120 days ago or what you told her on Friday or she's misrepresenting or you don't have to move money around. You got the money now today or not?
Yes, sir, today.
Where is it?
In the bank account.
What bank?
Right now, my boss's bank. I have the money at work. I've not gotten paid for the past 3 weeks, so it's
Stop. Your boss's bank account.
Yes.
That sounds like double talk nonsense to me. If it's either in your name, in your account, or your boss's account. If it's in your boss's account, you don't have access to the funds yet.
I have. He agreed that he'll make the payment for me because it's owed to me.
Call him up right now.
Yes, sir.
Go out. No. You're not going to call from in the courtroom. Go call him up. Say, can you make the funds now or not?
Yes.
I'm not going to play games. Don't interrupt me again. Go make the call. These good people are going to wait. And you're going to come back here in the next 5 to 7 minutes. See, it's 19 minutes to 10. You come back in here by 10 to 10 and tell me, Judge, I'm either prepared to make the payment right now or I'm not. Period. I don't want to get into all this other stuff. Go make the call. Wait a minute. Come here.
Sir.
Now you put the phone down. Sorry. Now you're hemming and hawing again. I can tell that you don't have the money.
I do. I swear. Honest to God, truth. It's right now. If they would have accepted it Friday, it would have been made.
Friday, it's their fault. Now Monday, what happened to the money since Monday or since Friday?
They said our office closed at 4:30. I said that I'm ready to do it. I even asked them if there's any chance that someone over the weekend could run the payment.
If they had the money, if you had the money Friday, you got the money Monday at 9:42. Right?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
nobody came and thieved your bank account, did they?
No, sir.
The bank didn't take it. Your
No.
boss didn't take it.
No,
Nobody
sir.
stole it. So it should still be wherever it was
Absolutely.
on Friday, and you can tender it. Now go and call your boss and come back. You still got, you wasted a minute. You got till 10 minutes to 10.
Go now.
Yeah. Portfolio recovery versus Falconer, Anthony V. You know what? I gotta take a 5-minute recess, everybody. Stay seated, please. Angela, your name, sir.
David Fry.
Did you pay the money?
I tried to. She said there was an issue with the numbers, like she didn't get them down correctly, said she didn't have time and hung up on me.
I feel like a babysitter
I'm
here.
honest, it's a business card number. There's no reason it doesn't go through. We were 3-way on the call with the owner of the company. She had some type of discrepancy putting in the numbers, unless somehow there was a miscommunication.
Do I need to hire, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I asked her, can we try it one more time? She said, we don't have time for this, and hung up.
Angela, what happened? Come on. Tell me your name again, Mr. Sherrill. Tell me your name again.
James Shirley for plaintiff.
Your Honor.
Your name again, Angela. Yeah,
Angela
I need your name
Jackson
again.
for performance equity.
Spell your last name.
Jackson.
Thank you. Okay. All right. What happened?
All right, so I waited until they called, and a lady from Shaw's Plumbing, she called and I talked to her. She gave me a card number, and when she gave me the card number, I put him on hold, and she gave me the card number, expiration date, and the CVV. So I put him on hold, and I went and asked our accounting department to run it right away. And she ran it, and it came as an invalid card number. So I got back on the phone, and I said, the accounting department ran it twice, and they said it's an invalid card number. He started saying, no. And I said,
That it's impossible.
I don't have time for this, and I hung up. And that's exactly how it went, because he wouldn't let me talk. He's like, we're gonna put this lady back on 3-way, and I said, I didn't want to wait another 15 minutes to put it on 3-way.
No.
So I'm like, it's an invalid card number.
Why would she tell you why would she tell you it's an invalid card number if it's not an invalid card number? They want their money.
There's a discrepancy because I use this card every day at Home Depot, thousands of dollars, sir. I'm a plumber. We use a lot of money on that card every day. I guarantee it. I just made this $3,500 for them in the past week to get this paid. I would work 90 hours this week. I mean, the money is there. I just didn't receive my check yet. That's why it's in the account ready to pay it. There's no reason why this shouldn't go through. We all consistently are using this card. It's a business card. It must have been just a miscommunication, or I believe that they just don't want me to pay it and they want the house back. That's how I feel. And I might need a lawyer because it's like, see, they're not letting me. They won't let me pay them.
Mr. Sherrill, where's your office at?
I'm in Muskegon.
Oh, that's right. Where is your office, Angela Jackson?
Illinois, Stanley Park, Illinois. Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure.
I wouldn't have called him on Friday and asked him for the payment if I wasn't willing to take the payment. I called him, I reached out to him for him to make this payment. And the last time he was in court, he said, I got to transfer money. I got to shift money around. He just called Jim on Friday too, after he talked to me. I got to shift money around. I got to put money here. I got to put money there. This is a constant thing with him. And it's a constant thing with him. And it's a constant thing with the park. And I work hand in hand with the park.
That has nothing to do with them.
He does this all the time to both of us.
Your Honor, when I called him on Friday, my question was, she called me an hour before they closed, and I said, is there any chance anybody could possibly answer the phone after today, after hours, or Saturday or Sunday, anytime, just to run the card number? He said that's impossible. I was like, why not? I mean, we run cards all the time at 2 a.m. for people. And he said, there's no way I can make the payment. I'll see you in Monday at court.
Hang on a second.
That's what he told me.
Hang on a second. We haven't called the communities yet, right?
No, we're not.
Good. I don't know what to tell you.
Your Honor, Mr. Fry called me.
She'd allow me to make the payment. That's all I'm
At
doing.
4:30 on Friday. He told me that the plaintiff's office was closed. I explained to him that they're 1 hour behind us and that he has 1 more hour in which to make a payment. His response was, I'm too busy. I'm on a job. I'm doing pipes under a house.
That I
Let's
wouldn't
talk
be
about
off
it.
until after 5:30, and there was no way I could get there and do it. I was trying to, I mean, right now the payment can be made if they could just communicate the numbers correctly into their system. And this whole time I waited 15 minutes, I was out there and had that to her in 5. She had me on hold for 15 before I could come back in here. That wasn't me. I immediately
You're
gave them
telling
the
me
numbers.
card number is valid.
It is, I guarantee it is. Yes, sir, guaranteed. I use it every day for work. It
It's
just,
a credit card.
yes, sir, business card.
Yeah, I know, but are you sure that hasn't reached its limit?
I guarantee it doesn't. Yes, sir. We go through big money of this company, a lot of money every day.
Why don't you give me the number to the lady that gave me the card for Shaw's Plumbing, so I can call her myself?
Yeah, do that. Go give her the name.
Go here.
Yeah, because the alternative is I'm gonna have you drive the check to Muskegon.
Whatever.
That's the
I need to
alternative,
do.
a certified check today to Muskegon. So go call up Ms. Angela.
How far is that?
Listen,
I'll do whatever I have to do so they don't say that it's wrong again.
you go over there and you call Angela and you set her up with Shaw's Plumbing. Okay? If I find you're wasting my time
I swear on
and
my
their
life,
time
sir.
over this, and you don't have the money, we're gonna have a
Yes, sir.
big problem, you and me. Go out there and call her and give her the number of Shaw's Plumbing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead. What do you guys, what happened? Tell
Well,
me
some
this
good news.
resolved. Okay,
The payment did go through.
okay. So
Um,
what do you want to do? You're gonna just dismiss the case?
Well, I'd suggest a conditional dismissal, Your Honor. We don't want to be doing this every couple of months. I'd suggest a conditional dismissal in case of any future default that lasts more than 10 days. I can file an affidavit, an order to reinstate, and a judgment.
How can I do that? How do I have the authorities paid up the debt? I don't see how I can do that at this point.
There's quite
I
a
mean, he's
substantial
paid up
balance
the-
remaining
There's a substantial balance remaining?
on the principal, yes. He's come current, but there's still a balance on the principal.
Yeah, I know, but I can't, that's what you're sued for, was the past debt.
Correct. Well, actually, we
can't
sued
do
for
anything.
possession.
No, I get it, but you were sued based on the fact that he had an arrearage, right? And
Yes.
now the arrearage has been brought up to date. I'm a lousy judge, don't you think? I think if I start entering into signing orders of conditional dismissal that pertain to future defaults, right? I can't do
Yes.
that. I'm sorry. So you guys want to just submit a stipend order to dismiss?
I'll do a voluntary dismissal.
Well, you got an answer here somewhere, right?
Well, not in
Does he have
writing.
your permission? He's appeared though. Does he have your permission to sign your name to a stipulation in order to dismiss this case without prejudice?
Yes, sir.
That's the way I'm going to ask you to do it, Mr. Sherrill. I'll just
Very good.
indicate plaintiff attorney will, and you have his permission to sign his name, so we'll submit S&O to dismiss without prejudice, okay?
All right.
You could have made, all right, thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience, Ms. Jackson, Mr. Sherrill. Thank you.
All
Next
right. See you
time, do
soon.
this a little sooner. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, that shows that judge has more patience than I would ever have. There's no way in the world I could have done all that. He went to court they wanted possession of the property. He hadn't paid the rent in several months and gave the judge the runaround. The judge got the money out of him though, so it worked out. I think we're done for the night, guys. I think we're going to call it a night and then come back in and do Judge Fleischer in the morning. And so join us and Chris in the morning for Judge Fleischer.